Good morning.
Morning.
How's it going?
All right, how are you?
Good, Chris. So we're still waiting for some folks. We've got, let me see, we've got several attendees that are already in, and they're joining by the. I see 5 more just came in. Another 5 came in. Yeah, so we got a lot of folks that are joining.
Good.
That's good. Let me get the Model T thing going.
Yeah, I checked into the background thing, and I basically need a green screen to do this on my computer.
Well, I have a green screen, so there's that. All right.
So do I have as much power as you on this? Can I just share
Just
my
give me just
screen?
1 second. Give me a
Okay.
second here.
All right.
I'm going to make you a co-host of this webinar,
Yeah.
and you're going to have superpowers like me. So, for those that have attended, I'm Jeff Stevenson. I'm the assistant to the Grand Poobah, which is Chris Brancaccio. I could never say it. And so now you know what we both look like, right? So, Chris, you can take it away.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not sure, Jeff, if everyone can hear us. Can we confirm that, or?
Sure. So here's what I would recommend. Everybody, there's in the very center of your screen, about right here, there is a chat icon. You can click on the chat icon, and then you can type things in there. You can also click on a little bit further over, there's Q&A. You can click on the Q&A button and you can ask questions. You can either chat or you can ask questions. Either one works, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm going to monitor to that as we're going through this. And so you can ask anything. Audio is good from both of you. That was what Gary London said to all panelists.
I saw that too.
I'm already seeing people that are in that are making comments. Azevedo is here and I can hear you. Larry Azevedo, Dick Lodge, I can hear you both. Of course you can, because I actually know what I'm doing, and so does Chris. So let's.
Well, Jeff knows more than me, so this is my first kick at the cat on this webinar.
Let me set the stage here. My company, we actually sell wine over the phone. I don't know if anybody had joined the last webinar that I had at 10 o'clock this morning. It was a virtual tasting of some wines. So I've been doing this with my company now for the last few weeks, and I can host up to 500 people at a time, up to 10,000 actually if we paid for it. But I bought the software, and Chris and I are both technology people, as you can probably tell, because we manage the forums and do all this stuff. And I'm playing this video in my background, and yes, I have a green screen. I can show you that as well. So some of the technology that we're using here is pretty darn cool, I must say. So you can see that it's actually not my car in the background. It's a green screen. I could actually be in my backyard if I wanted to be, or in my shop, which I could be working over here on something, rebuilding generators and starters, or over here. In fact, I think I'll stay in my shop. I'll stay in my shop for now. So we wanted, there were some comments on the forum about pretty lame that we're doing this on Easter Sunday. You know what? This is not about everybody else. This is actually about Chris and I right now trying to figure out this technology for our club, figuring out we're going to be doing a lot more of this since there's a shelter in place. So I have the platform. Why don't we take advantage of this? And the more that the word spreads, more people would be able to interact. I was trying to get one of our members to do a sort of a tour of his shop. I've heard it was actually Steve Tomaso. I've heard you can eat off of his floor, which if you know Steve Tomaso, you probably know that you probably can eat off of his floor. But Steve was out of town visiting his parents, so he couldn't do that. So Chris and I decided that you're going to see our smiling faces. And Chris decided that, or made the suggestion that we have a brand new website that's being worked on for the club. I thought, what a great way to test this out and see how this works. Chris can go through and show us some things on the new website. So what he's going to be able to do is share his screen and then click through what the new website looks like. And I've been through it. I was through it at 3 o'clock this morning, Chris, and it looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. I didn't see actually any errors. I have any problems with any of the places that I went. It looked really good.
Well, it's kind of a building block thing. A couple of those things were already done in WordPress, and the guy that did it for us knows WordPress, so he just kind of made a bigger envelope and incorporated everything that wasn't in WordPress into it. So we'll get to that in a minute or two. I just want to ask if any of the other directors are logged in, is to just make a comment in the chat box.
Actually, there's a better way to do that. Right in the middle, you can see you can raise your hand. So what happens is when you raise your hand on the attendee list, I can actually see that Aiken Hobart, or Hobart Aiken, has raised his hand. Larry Azevedo has raised his hand.
Yeah, I can't see the raising hands, Jeff.
Okay, so if you go to Chris, if you go down to participants and click on that window in the middle also,
yeah,
and then go to attendees, you'll see who's raising their hands. Gene Cruthers is also raising his hand.
Yeah.
You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to lower all their hands, and you've all been lowered. So now we can ask another question and raise their hands. How many people can, if the quality is good and you like what you see, raise your hands. Everybody has raised their hands, okay?
Yeah, okay,
every single person has raised their hands. All right, I'm lowering all your hands right now.
Yeah.
There they go. So you can ask more questions if you want to. Now, just click it one time. That's all you have to do. All right.
Super.
How many people actually have met Chris?
I've met in person.
How many people have met Chris before? Raise your hands. We got, let's see.
Yeah. Andy,
1, 2,
Larry,
3,
Walt.
4, 5, 6. 6 people have met Chris before. Awesome. How many people have actually met me in person, had the misfortune of meeting me in person? One person, Andrew Clary, yeah. Gene Cruthers. Okay, good. All right, so you guys know who we are. I'm lowering your hands now. Okay, Chris, it's all you, buddy.
Super. So there's a couple of other directors on there. If you don't know, I am a director for the next 3 years. Larry Azevedo, he's director and the president this year. Hobart Aiken is actually George Aiken. He's the director. And those are the only ones I can see right now. I'm waiting for Keith and a couple of the other guys to join. But anyways, we'll carry on here. We talked we've been talking about sheltering in place and what have you, and we're not sure what's going to happen come the beginning of June when homecoming is. So we kind of thought maybe we'd have a virtual homecoming. And then when Jeff mentioned this, we thought we'd give this a try, and we could do smaller things. And you know, these things don't have to last forever. They could be 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. We could do different things. We could have a tour of the museum. We could have tech talks from people's garages, shops, or even the vintage garage, which is at the museum. So this is going to be a good platform, I think, and this is a good thing that's came out of this bad thing, the pandemic. So I'm going to share my screen now. I'm just going to blast through. I'm going to spend 5 or 10 minutes. I won't discuss everything. Right now, it's just on the developer's server so that we can have a look at it. So there's about 12 of us that are reviewing it to make sure everything is working, and maybe making a few suggestions as to things that might be easier to look at or move around the prompts or whatever. So I'm going to go into there now. And if I can find it right here.
It's a good thing both Chris and I are technically competent. We can figure this stuff out. Beautiful.
So here's the front page that'll come up, and the page kind of scrolls, and you can see the different things if you scroll down. And we've added some of the new things, like this is a brand new thing that we've developed over the last year and a half, is the youth club for kids 7 to 17. There's the museum website. We have this menu at the top here, which some of these are all just duplicates of what was in there before. We're going to have a calendar and a contact thing here. So let's just go. The forum just works like it did before. You click this, and it'll just go over to the forum.
I want to interject one thing when you get into the forum. I actually added another forum here.
Oh, okay.
I know. I didn't even ask permission for this. Go down to the bottom.
Oh, live video.
Live video webinars at the very bottom. See that?
Oh, yeah.
And so I posted this there, and people can add comments and suggestions to discuss what we want to do in live video webinars. I thought I'd keep this off the general forums. It has to do with the Model T, but it's sort of a different topic. So I'm bucking the trend here, and I'm adding yet another forum, which I know a lot of people hate, but you know, part of being, one of the admins for the site, as I get to sort of do this kind of stuff. So we're going to try this and see what happens.
So that's what happened. You click there, and some of the things, the stats that I've checked in the past is the website is basically 95% forum. That's what most people use it for. But still, all the information is here if you need to contact one of the board members. This information is here. This is almost identical to what was on the old site. Our phone numbers and emails are on there. Different things that people would not usually go to the Vintage Ford page, but the page is there.
Is the magazine PDF actually going to be posted here?
No, we haven't got that far yet. That's one of the things that is on my to-do list as a director, is to research what it's going to take to go to the PDF or electronic magazine.
I got it. Okay.
So chapters, a lot of people will use this to find chapters in different areas. We always get questions about, I just bought a Model T. What should I do? Well, the first thing you should do is go to where you live, the state you're in, look up the club and see if there's someone near you. That's the easiest thing to do to get some help for a new member, which a lot of us been around for a while. We don't need that, but so that's another thing. Blog, this is a new thing.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I'm not sure how this is going to work. We have a Facebook page, which is basically a blog. So this is just extra things here. This is the scholarship things which you made a post on. This is the new website. So these are just different news items, I guess, that we can post in here. Another place to put information. So we have our donate page. Some of this integration here with PayPal will be a little better because WordPress is a little more modern than our old kludged together HTML page to make donations. So this should work a lot better than before. We go over here to resources. The suppliers page, I'm not sure how much, and maybe the attendees that are listening here can maybe make some comments for us in the webinar forum that Jeff just showed us. Most times, I don't know if people go here to find stuff, find these suppliers, or if they just Google it in Google. So if maybe you guys can make a comment in there, that'd be great. We're also going to only put the suppliers in here that actually advertise in the Vintage Ford. So we're,
result from search.
sorry, my Google on my phone just thought I was talking to her. So just to remind you guys, Google is listening all the time. So is Alexa. So we're going to take out people that don't advertise in the Vintage Ford, just kind of make it a little, tighten it up a little bit. The Speedster Hall of Fame, this was on the old website. I'm a couple years behind. I need to get some stuff from Rich from Speedyville's museum. But this will work a lot better because the years just roll down the side here, so you can just keep adding. So I'm not sure if this has been mentioned in the magazine or not, but the Speedster Hall of Fame is going to go to a little different format. They've kind of run out of guys and cars to put in here, so they're going to condense down the categories so there's not so many every year. So just watch for that in the magazines. The safety inspection form, you guys have all seen that before. You should be doing that once a year. And the operations manual. We're actually working on the operations manual right now, 3 of us, just go through it and make sure everything's up to date. Research, the Encyclopedia. This is just a straight copy of what was in there before, and it's the same information. I was going through here, and if you click on the years.
Wow, the format on this is great.
Yeah, the format is, well, it's a little, I wouldn't say it's great, Jeff, because all that stuff is all kind of run together. I think it needs a little bit of work to kind of straighten up the.
Yeah, but the structure is there.
Oh no, the structure is really good. It's a lot better than it was before. So again, we're just kind of modernizing, and things are good there. You can go by year. You can go by.
What a great resource for somebody that's shopping or has just bought a new tee, right?
Yeah, for sure. But you can go down here and look at all the, whatever, Buffalo Carburetor. It's all categorized by that, so it's actually pretty good. Drawings, that goes to the new thing that Jeff set up, the gallery with basically
Martin Vowell.
Mr. Vowell's stuff here.
Boy, if you guys have not seen this resource, spend some time in here. It's just absolutely extraordinary. I don't know Martin. I haven't met him, but my God, what a talented drawing person he is. Just extraordinary detail. And he's a total stickler for every tiny little component. It's just amazing.
So Larry Azevedo, you said you were going in here and you couldn't get the large drawings. I don't know if you were going down far enough to get the thing. And this thing is detailed.
So I just allowed Larry to comment. Larry, can you can talk now?
Well,
maybe not.
And again, no, so it shows mute on mine.
Oh, it's talking permitted. Unmute. Here we go. Trying to unmute you. Lower left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to have a mute button.
I did it.
There we go. Now we can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to blow up those so they're readable and printable. And I was having troubles with that. That was my question.
Well, you can see on this one here that my screen is full. Is that not enough, Larry?
That's enough. I just couldn't make mine do that.
Huh.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, well, maybe I need to talk to, maybe we need to talk to you when you're on your computer. I can do that sometime after this. So, okay. Yep. Anyways, I've had no problems with these, and well, now just hang on. Carry on, Jeff. I just got to talk to Keith.
Well, you got your screen shared, so.
Hey. Keith.
Let's see. So Gary London says this would be great for things like restoration workshops. Absolutely. So think about someone that is in the middle of restoring one of their vehicles. We could even do a whole series on restorations and have 5 or 10 panelists with their iPhone in their garage or their workshop give us a little tour of what they're doing on their cars, just so everybody could see that in live real time. And if they've got some specific questions or issues they need to have solved, they could ask those questions in real time. And then a panelist could raise their hand. They can answer the question as an expert, and we can have a discussion. And of course, there's no opinions in this club, I've noticed. Have you noticed that too, everybody? Nobody has an opinion on anything in this club. So that's the best part about asking questions, is you're not going to really get any opinions here, I don't think. Or maybe, yeah, I do all the time. Yes, exactly. Anybody have a question on anything we're doing right now? You can ask it right in your chat, or I can unmute you, or if you have video, I can promote you to a panelist and we can see your smiling face. Would anybody like to do that? Just type a message in the chat window. I'm happy to do it. Come on, Andy. You don't like my shop. You think it's unclean. Let's see yours live and in person. Andy's going to hate this.
I don't need to be a panelist.
Sorry, Andy, you are a panelist now. Andy was the president of my club before. We're in Sonoma County here. I can ask you to start your video. If you've got a camera, we can see your smiling face.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
Andy, we'll start video later. Okay, I got it.
So Keith,
much later.
Gumbinger tried to join in here. He's another director, and he was on and listening. Then he tried something else, and now he can't get back on. So I told him I have to troubleshoot him later.
Yeah, and we're in real time here.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's go back to our little demo here. The museum. So we have a museum director now, Noah. And Noah's been a docent working for us for probably a couple of years now, and he's been given the job of museum manager. Noah has been making videos And he's probably a good person to have with us to maybe give us a museum demo on one of these Zoom webinars. Anyways, the museum website has been worked on, and this is kind of what prompted the whole website redesign. It was some of the people in Richmond that done a lot of work on the museum.
I think the interactive tour there that they've got is really,
Yes.
really good.
These are really cool. So you can walk around. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to take up the bandwidth, but you can go and click these two items down on the bottom here, and you just basically point your mouse and it just goes through the museum and the agency building. It's really cool. Here's showing you the different places, the Model T garage, the vintage garage in the back of the agency building. They're working on a salesman's office at the front, and there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a seminar in the vintage garage in the back. You can't quite figure out what they're doing there. That's Brent Mize there. The guys that recognize. I think that's Bud, isn't it? Anyways, this is a new volunteer at the museum, so we can click to get a volunteer because they're always looking for volunteers. So that's a new thing. So, and what else we got here? Calendar. This will replace the events tab that we keep track of. And these are just, this is the same as on the events tab that we have now, so maybe a little different format.
Are you going to be announcing all the tours for all the different regions here?
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, we normally do. So
kind of like
sometimes because they're done manually by me, sometimes they're not quite up to date.
Right. So so what is in the vintage magazine today that everybody reads will be sort of a duplicate here. Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, got it.
But now with the thing being on WordPress, the people in the office in Richmond will be able to update this as well. So there'll be more people updating. It'll be more.
So basically, you're giving Susan a whole new job.
Yeah, that's what we don't want to do, but you know that's all right. So, and this is the homecoming website. This is the same as it was before. This was one of the first ones that was done on WordPress. So this one is basically the same as it was before. So what else? How do we go back here? Yeah.
Tours, swap meet.
No, I'm just thinking that he said there was a, this maybe found a little problem here.
What's the swap meet?
The swap meet is at homecoming.
Oh, this is on the homecoming site.
This is the homecoming. I'm kind of locked into the homecoming site now, and I can't get back.
Yeah.
There's
Upper
a
right,
back
does it
button.
say back to MTFCA on the upper right?
No, I can't see that.
You got a button.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was looking at that. There we go. And then we have a contact form, which is, we don't need to look at that. Have a search button. You can search for, so this basically searches the website, doesn't search the forum. The forum searches, you have the search function in the forum itself. So anyways, that's
cool.
That's really it for the website. And that's really all I got to show you on the website. Maybe we should open up the chat, Jeff, and see if we got anything coming in there. I'm going to stop.
Anybody have any questions? Comments? Concerns?
Chat.
You guys like what you see? Raise the hands.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yep, everybody's raising their hands. Good. Is there anybody that's on this right now that can see being a participant here and offering some content, 15 minutes, half an hour, something like that? Anybody else? I'll lower all your hands. Another raise of hands here. Larry says yes, of course. Good. Hobart Aiken, okay, very
Sure,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Of course, Chris, we need to see Canada in all its glory right now, which is, I think, frozen, right?
Yeah.
It's unfortunately it's washed out.
Uh,
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. It's adjusting the video now. Hang on, let me spotlight you.
a little white.
I can spotlight video. There you go. Yeah, very white. Wow, look at that.
We got 4 inches of snow yesterday and a trace this morning. It just doesn't know when to stop.
Okay, here's a couple of questions. Any idea when this will go live? So when is the?
I would say probably within a week or so. The guy's been very responsive in making little changes that people have asked for. So I can't see it taking longer than a week or two.
Fantastic. And that'll replace the stoic sort of existing
Yes,
where this will
yeah.
become the new homepage for the Model
Yeah.
T Forum of America, right?
exactly.
Cool.
So
All right, no more questions? We're gonna let you guys enjoy your Easter weekend. Thanks for putting up with this. This is obviously an experiment. I think it's gonna work well. And just, watch the forums for more announcements of what the next one's gonna look like. If you've got some comments or questions, go to the new forum, give us some suggestions, start the discussion there. And I'm sure, again, I don't see any opinions from anybody in this club. So I don't think there's gonna be any comments whatsoever. But I could be proven wrong. I could be proven wrong. Awesome.
I think this was great, guys. So this goes to show you this is about half an hour, and it doesn't have to be a long time. And we got some good points across, and we can use this, I think, very well in the future.
So there's a question here from Bob McDaniel. Can we see others in here? Well, not in this format. So basically, Chris and I are the directors of this. The anticipation here is once the word gets out, this thing's going to get monstrous. And the only way to manage it is in this format called a webinar format. If you have a Zoom meeting, everybody appears on the screen, and it's almost impossible to manage. In this way, Chris and I can promote individual people that raise their hand or say, "I'd like to be part of the panel," and we can escalate you to a panelist. You can share your video and your audio and participate in the meeting. So it's a little bit better way to manage a lot of people. And so the technology is there for us to do that. And so anyway, so as a participant, you can't really see who's here right now. But if I was to share, I guess I can share this screen here and show you a few of the folks that are on here. Let's see. Yeah, here's my desktop. You can see that I can actually see all the different people that are here, and I can allow them to talk or not. And then when you guys ask questions, I can actually see your questions here. Of course, Andy was saying your shop doesn't look that great, and somebody said I can hear you both. My shop isn't really that clean. That's really nice, Andy. I really appreciate your comment on that. Super nice of you.
I asked him to show us his shop.
Yeah, I know, I did. So yeah, that's what the hosts, that's what Chris and I see. So we're sort of the directors in a way of the whole production. So think of us as your directors. So if you want to do something, all you have to do is ask a question, and we can promote you to a panelist, and you can ask the question and have your video. Or like Andy says, he doesn't want his video shown because his shop is a real mess.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's perfectly fine. Totally.
Okay, I have a question, Jeff, a technical one.
Yeah.
How many people actually signed up on the join thing that you posted yesterday?
I think I saw about 50, and I think we have 17. Some people have dropped off already. We have 17 attendees that are actually on this right now.
So I'm wondering if it's like Keith phoning here, having a technical
it's certainly
difficulty
possible.
connecting.
I've heard, Zoom is about the easiest possible software to use.
Yeah.
Click the link, it installs, it launches immediately. You have to log in.
Yeah.
So I think, I'll probably be posting if people have questions about it, a Q&A on that webinar area for support on how to do this if you have some problems. If nothing else, if you've got a phone like this, a smartphone, I've got an iPhone, I've got an email application. All I have to do is go into my email app, click on email, and I can actually join from an email. So, of course, all you have to do is just look at your email that I send out, and the information is there. You click on that, and Zoom installs on your iPhone, and you can actually do this right from your iPhone. So you could walk around in your shop with your iPhone and actually do a tour of your shop, kind of like what I have in my background right now. Can we see the others in here? Yes, you can see the others in here if I promote you. Who said that? That was Bob McDaniel said that. So Bob, tell you what, I'm going to allow you to talk, and I'm going to promote you to a panelist. I have no idea whether you have video or not. Bob McDaniel is now a panelist. I'm unmuting him, and I'm allowing him to talk. I'm going to make him a co-host. So now you're a co-host.
We're still sharing your screen.
Am I? No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
Well, Bob's not allowing me to unmute him, but if I could, he'd be able to speak, and you'd be able to hear him. So anybody that's got a microphone and a webcam can participate in this. And if you don't have one of those, then your smartphone will totally work, and you can do the whole thing right on your smartphone. Pretty
Well,
neat, guys. Yeah, okay, good. That's about all the questions we had.
See if we can get Bob in there. Might as well fiddle around with this a bit now.
Sure. Bob, make host. I'm going to change him and make him the host. But you still can't hear him because he's got his, so in the lower left-hand corner of your screen down here, it says unmute. So Bob, if you can hear us, you can click the unmute button, and then you'll be able to talk. Andy, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can talk as well.
Okay, there's Andy.
Yeah. Bob, there you go. Bob, can you hear us? Bob? Well, he just muted himself again. Andy.
Oh, no.
There's Andy.
What does he say, recording?
Andy, can you hear us?
Say
Yes, I
something.
can. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah,
can.
yeah, there you are.
I'm
So
using
Andy's-
I'm using my tablet.
Your tablet.
Okay.
Does your tablet have video on it?
I guess. I don't know. It's got a
Well,
little eyeball.
try and go down to start your video in that same little box down there. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There he is.
Oh
There's
boy.
Andy Clary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Wait a minute. I have to aim it.
hit his
I
video.
know, we gotta
There's
see how many
Andy.
nose hairs you got.
Hi, Andy. So this is what
I
we
meant
can
that
do.
your
for anybody.
I meant that your shop isn't usually that clean.
Yeah, well, it was brand new then. Well, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate that.
Thanks for everything you guys are doing for this.
It's our pleasure, really. I think this could catch on like wildfire, because of course we're all sheltered in place, and there's a lot of free time on people's hands right now.
Hey, Dave. Dave Default. I allowed you to talk. Would you want to go and try and do the same thing? We're just going to experiment a bit here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Here you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Just like that.
Hey, I got a question for Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were a wine merchant. What are you doing with all those tools?
Yeah. Well, during the week, my company, I have 50 employees, and we are absolutely, totally buried. All of my employees are still employed. We sell wine over the telephone. We make calls to people and sell them wine. So you can only imagine. I'm up at 4 o'clock literally every morning until I literally collapse at the end of the day. So so Chris, I want to say thanks to Chris, because I answer most of the questions that come through, or a lot of them anyway. We both do. But Chris has totally picked up the load. Chris, thank you so much for answering most of these questions that these people have. It's really helpful.
Well,
I
that's the way it
think-
was before. I'm used to it. It's all right. I'm glad you're here helping me. So
I think Chris has an advantage on some of us.
Yeah, he's retired.
Well, he's got some youngsters that are running around the house helping him with this technology.
Yeah, I know. If you need to
that
figure
was my
something
job,
out,
Dave. That was my job. So
ask your kids how to do it. If you can't figure it out, just ask one of your grandkids, and they'll figure it out for you. They probably are all using Zoom right now. I know I have one of the fun things you can do with Zoom. You can get it free, and I've done this many, many times now. Probably about a dozen times on a Friday at a happy hour. You send out an invite. You create a new meeting. You send an invite out to whoever friends you've got, if you have friends, and you invite them to your Zoom meeting, and you can have a virtual happy hour. And the first one that I did, you had to bring a bottle of wine, a bottle of scotch, or a bottle of gin. Mixer was optional, and that's all you had to have. And we had the best time with, there was people in New York, I had folks in Chicago, I had people in Santa Rosa, and it was just an absolute blast. So Zoom is definitely a fun platform. It's probably one of the easiest to use at this point. There was some concerns about security somebody had mentioned before. Those have mostly been addressed, and all those holes have been plugged in the latest update. And it obviously asks you to update your software when you open the next time. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. The security aspect is people were they call it Zoom bombing. And for whatever reason, people were allowed to come in and bomb, like they would take over the meeting and show some kind of picture or whatever, sort of like when the hackers hacked our website. But they've mostly plugged all those holes. Obviously, you can see they're not doing it to us today, so I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, can you talk to us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, maybe you want to talk as the president. Say hello to everybody.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm glad we've got, what did you say? We had 50 signed up and about 17 that were here.
Correct, yes.
It's great. It's gonna explode like the virus, is my guess.
I think it will. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will do my best to, I'm recording the session. I will download the recording, and I will then upload it into YouTube. It takes about an hour to upload, so later this afternoon, as I'm making my lasagna for dinner, I'll be uploading it to YouTube, and then I'll send the link out. I'll post it actually in the webinar section of the website, and people can actually take a look at it there. I'll probably do it in the general forum because nobody really knows about the website area yet, or the virtual webinar section yet.
Hey, Dick Lodge,
Yes,
you're there. Okay.
I'm here.
We can
So
hear you.
I think we answered your question when we were talking there, right?
Yeah,
So, and the waiting room thing is a thing that, yeah, that was a big thing.
that solved the problem of bombing. Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Why is my video not on? Why is it just my
Yeah,
name?
you have to turn, I don't know if, you should be able to turn it on. Can only the host turn it on, Jeff?
No, he should be able to.
I don't have a prompt to turn.
Here's what I'm going to do. I think I might need to. Demote some people here on the panelists. Oh, I think I made Bob the host of the meeting by mistake. So so he has to make
You can't even talk to Bob.
He has to click on me and make me the host again. Actually, Chris, you're the co-host, so you should be able to ask him to start his video.
All right.
I don't see a video control. Yeah, there's my name, but I don't see a video control.
Lower left-hand corner where it says mute and start video.
No, it just says mute.
Oh, so
Yeah,
maybe you don't have a camera.
because,
It's just
it
audio.
has to be a panelist or a host to be able to video, or else the thing would go crazy on bandwidth.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Panelists, I've got Chris, Bob, Jeff, and Andy.
Okay, so Chris, take Bob and right-click on him or click on his name and demote him to panelist. Same thing with Andy. And then I think I have, my license allows 4 panelists at a time. So I think you'll be able to promote other people to panelists after you demote them.
Okay, just hang on. We're learning here more.
Yep, that's what this is all about.
Bob's the host. I don't get that, so.
So Bob is the host. Yeah, Bob, you need to transfer the host control back to Chris or I. So if you can go to attendee or participants, click on participants. And
I'm
then
gonna
click on
change
the
Andy
panelist
to,
tab. There we go.
Andy, I changed you back to participant.
Okay.
Now we got Jeff. Forbid recording, remove. Yeah, all we can do is,
Yeah, Bob is the host still.
yeah.
He's got to transfer control back to one of us. I shouldn't have transferred the control.
Well, this is kind of what we're doing here, so we're gonna learn with these.
Exactly.
These new
I know.
participants.
No, never to transfer control to Bob ever again. God.
So there's been a coup this early?
Yeah,
There's
just
been a
like
coup
that.
this
eh?
early. That's exactly
Just like
right.
that.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right, I think we'll call it a day, boys. And
Great.
Girls. There's no girls on here, I don't think, but
Not that I see yet.
So I think this was a success. Make some comments on the forum Jeff set up, and we'll be in touch.
Okay. So you
Thanks a
guys have a
million.
happy Easter. Enjoy yourselves.
Same to you.